Hey, this is Attorney Walter Knott with Disability Resolution PA. We're going to be talking about Social Security's Supplemental Security Income Restoration Act, specifically coming out of Senator Brown's office from Ohio. And then Biden has significantly pushed for this. In fact, one of the major aspects of his pre-presidency website goes into detail about many of the things that are listed in this actual bill. And the reason I know that is because I did a video on it that had over 300,000 views because it was so incredibly groundbreaking and amazing. Now, with that said, let's go to the specific one I want to touch on now. Eliminate the marriage penalty for SSI and increase the benefit for married couples to double the individual rate to put marriage equality within reach for SSI beneficiaries. So what he's talking about here is instead of married people who are both on SSI, so SSI, they get married, instead of what would originally happen, which is that you take 794 and 794, and instead of getting, double that, there's a limit. There's a glass ceiling. And I don't even know ethically why they did this. I don't think anybody really knows, other than the nefarious reasons of reducing the benefit amounts. But the bottom line is, you have two poor individuals who are disabled getting married. They made it. They did it, something I haven't been able to do yet. And as a result of that, we then cut their benefits way down, which doesn't make any, I don't know. Anyways, the point is this. For 2021, they would not get 794 times 2. They would only get up to $1,191, which is absolutely horrible and, in my opinion, unethical. But that's kind of how America works and yada yada, so it is what it is. So, all right, let's go through this real quick, though. What would they be getting if this bill passed into law? Instead of getting that $1,191, they would be getting essentially each $1,032 or a little bit more. I'm doing a low ball calculation there. It's probably more around like $1,035 and $1,040, but all right, let's just calculate it at $1,035. So we would be at $2,070. Yeah, $2,070. So married SSI couples, instead of receiving $1,191, if this bill passes, would get $2,070. And then there's some, change in there as to, how much little extra money they would get. But because, it's all a percentage of analysis of about 30 to 31% increase to the poverty 100% level. So the bottom line is that if you're married and you are an SSI and your husband or your spouse or your wife is married as well, I had to throw spouse in there, you notice that? And your husband or your wife or your spouse was married as well, or was on SSI as well, you would be looking at basically over $2,000 per month for both being on SSI, and there would be no penalty. And a lot of you sit back and you go, I don't know why all these people are in this country and they're poor and they never get married. This is why. This is like the number one reason why. Yeah, there's child and family stuff too, and there's SNAP benefit stuff, and there's all. Yes, but this is the main reason why people end up not getting married, and then one guy will have with his wife a bunch of kids, and they just never get married. This is the main reason why. This is a huge fix. We want people in America to get married, stay married, be happy, take care of their dogs and their kids, all those things. That's what we want to see, okay? Fur babies are important too. Now, with that said, there's another type of marriage penalty that I need you to know about, and that's basically where they do this thing that's evil. Maybe it's not evil. No, it's evil. Called deeming. Deeming is basically where we look at somebody attached to that person in some way. In this case, we look at SSI recipient's spouse. And if the spouse is earning too much, it's not that much, then basically the expectation is that that spouse right here that is earning too much would have to go ahead and, because their earnings exist, it would reduce the amount of SSI received. Yeah, I know, because the expectation is that this person has to pay for this person. And I mean, sure, there's extreme examples of that. You could have, some multi-gazillionaire, right? And then you could have some Russian blonde, which is the archetypal trophy wife or whatever. And you could essentially have a situation where she doesn't have any money, he does have money, and she goes on SSI for anxiety, depression, whatever impairment she has, and throw in some physical impairments. And he's a gazillionaire, and as a result of that, she's still getting a check at full amount when he could obviously pay for her to have everything that she ever wanted, including rich people stuff. I don't know, rocket ships. I don't know. No, regular rich people stuff like I don't know, a side mansion, a Rolls Royce. That's the classic, a Rolls Royce or whatever. So the bottom line is, you know, she would essentially be able to receive, and that could exist in a theoretical fashion. That could exist, and if that's so, then set a limit to yearly income capacity that is up high. Don't set it to the ridiculous amounts that they have, where they're literally considering hundreds of dollars per month, you know, equating to being into the deeming level, which requires review to go ahead and reduce the benefits of the person that's on SSI. That's just, come on, guys. And I understand the base fundamental, I understand it that, you know, SSI is for people who are essentially impoverished. And but you have to remember, too, that at the end of the day, the deeming schedule that they have just keeps people more impoverished. And the only way that people can essentially do movement out of a state of poverty is by having the basic amount to be able to have the insurance, use the insurance, transportation. That's important. A lot of people don't realize SSI people struggle with transportation. That's a major thing. Oh, wow, I've got, you know, Medicaid now, but how are you going to get to the doctor? A lot of people don't realize that. So basically what this equates to is those are the two main ways. Number one, they're not taking both benefits and then reducing them and saying, well, we're only going to give you this because you're both married. Now they're saying we're going to increase them to 100% poverty level around 1,035 and then double that to around 2,070. And basically the next thing is on here that essentially the deeming is going to be changed significantly, you know, so that it's not so ridiculously outrageous when it comes to okay, so how do we keep you poor if you found somebody who has a job? I think, you know, yes, there are extremes, and I gave you the trillionaire with the Russian blonde expectation of that, which is the you know, the real extreme of that. But I think there's a significantly better way to do this. In fact, we're going to be going into and through this entire bill line by line. A lot of it is not important because it's just changing stuff. It's like, okay, and we're going to add and here, and we're going to add this. It's just word changes, but we'll go specifically to those little sections that outline why the law is changing, how it changes, the current statutes, the current rules, the current SSR, stuff like that. And then basically from there, we'll be able to see exactly how this thing will shape up. But for right now, this is just the intro stuff. We're doing the SSI Restoration Act, and then we're doing the 2100 Social Security 2100 Act. I need you guys to understand the basics, the overalls, and then we're going to go through line by line through the statute. That way we can kind of have fun and see how they build these things. But ultimately, I'm going to be using spaceconstitution.com as the platform to show you guys how to write your own bills and how to dissect a bill and how to push a bill and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, I would rather see you have the capacity to make law than the capacity to sit there and be angry at the TV, which is where a lot of people are at right now. All right. My name is Attorney Walter Knott with Disability Resolution PA. We're going to be going through the next one over here in the not too distant future, which is, let's see, eliminate benefit reductions that penalize beneficiaries who receive in-kind help from friends and family. That, in my opinion, is the most important change to this. Yes, the increase per month is important. Yes, being able to work more is important. Yes, and not reducing other types of benefits that you're receiving is important. Yes, not having a marriage penalty is important. But those are, in my opinion, not as important as this last one that we're going to do. Okay, my name is Attorney Walter Knott III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. Have an absolutely wonderful day. And then for all the people who are going, what about SSDI? What about SSDI? We're going to be doing that act. Just give me time and we'll get to it. You know what I mean? I only have enough time to basically, release around a video to 2 videos per day. And remember, after I shoot this video, I've got to edit it. I've got to upload it. I've got to create a picture for it. I've got to type in stuff for it. I've got to do all that stuff on top of writing briefs, going to hearings, and doing all the regular lawyer stuff at a very high level because I have a significant amount of people that I work with. So just keep in mind, I'm doing the best that I can with all the considerations. And I see a lot of people are calling today, even though it's July 5th, but today is a federal holiday. All right. Anyways, in all federal holidays, the law firm is closed because we mostly deal with the Social Security Administration, which is, of course, a federal agency. All right. Have an absolutely wonderful day. My name is Attorney Walter Knott. If you need any contact information or the most up-to-date information, bio stuff is in the area below. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.